D-Boy West Coast Uncensored coming right back at you, huh? Right. I said I was going to get back to what I was talking about before, and what I was going to talk about before was definitely how being in sync or synchronicities working and is a good tool to see that you're staying on your course as things start to become synchronized in your life. And I said that it can even be you start noticing all these double number times 1111, 111, 222, you know, 3, even 2, 3, 4s, all these things, or you start seeing things happen corresponding. Another meaning and connection to this is actually that it happens to you simultaneously. So you start getting this synchronicity start happening in sync. What I found interesting about the thing is there's this psychiatrist that was named Carl Jung, with the Jung, Carl Jung, and he attacked it differently than most. He attacked it and did not push aside people's conscious experience and saying, oh, they're having delusions. He said, he made a statement, how would I not know they did? How can I tell somebody they didn't have an experience? So he sought experiences and had enlightenments and stuff, and situations happening to him of a conscious expansion, right? So he's even credited with pushing the word of synchronicities, which I found interesting. It was put together not long before that, but it also was, he definitely had his hand in it happening later during his time of this word synchronicities. And we start seeing these things happen in these synchronicities similar. Notice that word synchronicities. We see it even with the computing. They want you to sync everything up on your computer or your technology, right? Sync everything up in your technology. But also, when I look deeper into it in etymology, also simultaneously, it was very connected to things happening, multiple things at the same time happening to you simultaneously, meaning the synchronicities with many different layers of simultaneously multiple things happening with you at the very, very same time. And I can see that we even have this, what we call deja vu, or different aspects happen to us where we see these things kind of play out. I'm walking across the streets, or I'm actually going to an acupuncture appointment. So we see these things kind of play out, and we start kind of connecting to them with ourselves and start knowing we're in a flow. We see it happen many, many times. I notice that me and a group of people who I'm very harmonized with, we start seeing those times, right? The 1111s and the 222s and the 333s start happening to us, and we see that. They call them power numbers, and some would have even given names like angelic numbers and stuff like this, that they're power numbers, right? But we start seeing this, and then events start happening to us. Like I said, that when I'm in that awareness and I'm putting forth the very connective energy wherever I go, to the grocery store, in the community, wherever I am, I'm treating them all the same with connective acceptance. Almost a unity. Doesn't matter where they are, what they understand. I'm sorry about that. Somebody riding by motorcycle, because I am walking over here. So right now, to my acupuncture appointment. So you hear all these noises out in the community, right? Long story short, when you start seeing these come together, I started looking at this. So I look at that word simultaneously with synchronicities, and they start happening. So think about this as you're going and you're starting to spread yourself, right? You're starting to have this experience, the awakening, the expansion. Now you're very aware that this is happening to you simultaneously, these synchronicities. And how about this? Part of you connecting to part of you, even another dimension simultaneously. Maybe in that other dimension, simultaneously, you're having the same similar, simultaneously synchronicity. Putting yourself back together. Or the renewal, right? Or the regeneration. Because you did it once, that's why you always have a re with it, because you've experienced it before. Or the renewal. The re's. All the re words, right? So we start having these. I said I was going to hit on this, and I'm hitting on it now. So there's another word I'm going to hit that's going to kind of flow. I want to put these three together and cap it off. And we're hitting the synchronicity, which I like that secret when I looked it up. Simultaneously was another word that really went with it. Synchronicity, simultaneously, now, presently, being present. Wherever you are, being present. Like you notice, I got my head on a swivel. Because you never know on the community, what you might see, what you might know, and you need to be aware. Be safe, too, when you're around cars. Just because you have the right-of-way doesn't mean your body physically can take the pounding of a 35-pound vehicle, 100-pound vehicle. So be aware. But also another one, so you're looking at that synchronicity simultaneously, and the next one I really want to touch on with this, and a little bit more, is alignment. How that alignment factors in. I'm going to touch on how this synchronicity, simultaneously, synchronicity, and also alignment works. How we're always talking about getting yourself aligned. We know that we even do that with our cars. And I'm not going to go into that now, because I'm not going to give you a taster. You're going to have to hear the alignment. And then I'm going to follow up after that with another one, if I don't get something off the cuff before that, right? And that other one's going to be talking about how this becomes applicable or applicable to you. Because we have a lot of knowledge. We're going through a processing, the in syncing. That's what I see it as, the processing. Now this becomes applicable, which is actually would be the wisdom, or the stones, or the wisdoms that we start having applicable to our life, becomes that wisdom from the knowledge that we receive. Now it's transformed into wisdom, which is able to be applicable or applicable like an application. D-Boy, West Coast Uncensored. We'll see you soon. Real soon.